I hate my job and I hate my life. Ever since I can remember, I never really was a big fan of school. I remember always waking up on the weekdays and especially the end of the weekends too, when you have to, those were especially bad when you had to wake up and be like, oh man, we got to go back to this after this fun weekend, and just have this existential dread of being like, man, time to waste another 8 hours of my life. That was always my view on it, which was very cynical, but I'm being honest. But I always had this tiny little bit of hope in my mind, and you call it a light at the end of the tunnel. We will. And that light at the end of the tunnel, even as much as I hated high school and middle school and everything, I always had this idea that I just got to get through this, and then I can go off to college, and that kept me going. I was like, I'm going to keep trying, get good grades, so I can go off and do this thing that I really, is going to be so much better. And so I did. I kept going, got good grades, went to university, had a great time for about a year or two, and then quickly realized, I don't really like this. You're taking my money, and I'm just sitting in school again. Like, I don't know. Like, some of the classes were much more enjoyable in high school. Don't get me wrong. I studied business. A lot of the, marketing classes and everything that I took were a lot of fun. And I found a passion in marketing for, a lot of the creative aspects of it. But for the most part, I was like, yeah, this isn't great. But just like in high school, I had a light at the end of the tunnel. And that was graduation and getting a degree and getting your first out of college job, and that's a feeling like no other. So that's what kept me going. Get good grades so I can get a good job, well-paying job, and set myself up for life. That was the idea I had in my mind. And more specifically, like I said, I was going for business and found a passion in marketing, something in marketing. And so, graduate not too long ago, walk across the commencement stage, get my degree, and find a job. And not to say that I wasn't applying for jobs before graduation, but if you checked out the job market recently in the past couple of years, it's not exactly in the best place, guys. It's not looking great. Somebody better go check on that thing because it's not producing. Lucky for me, I was able to secure a job just a week after graduation. I had my final interview, got an offer letter, and I was like, man, this is it. And it was a marketing job. So I was even more excited because I could have just went in anything in business, general business. But I really wanted a marketing job. And I got one. And one thing that I quickly realized after starting this new marketing job, obviously you go in there all hyped up, being like, this is going to be awesome. Then I'm going to do all this creative work, and it's going to be great. I'm going to talk with all these people, working, these big teams to create these campaigns and so on and so forth. And after a couple months, I was like, man, this is not at all what I expected it to be. The work was very repetitive, very uninspiring, and I just really didn't feel like I was doing anything meaningful when I would wake up and go to this thing for 8 hours a day. And I feel like it's important to have something of meaning in your life. It gives us purpose. And this was not doing that and was really negatively affecting my mental health recently. I became not very motivated at work, and that has started spilling over into my personal life. And what I mean by that is I used to always going back to this light at the end of the tunnel analogy, I used to always have, oh, it's a bad day at work. Okay, I'll go home and I'll do one of my hobbies, or I'll spend time with friends, and it'll be fine. Like, that'll pick me up. That's something that I was excited about. And more recently, I have found that lack of motivation for my job and for work creeping into those social aspects of my life and my hobbies, which is not good at all. I've been doing less. I've been eating less. I've been just really down in the dumps in a nice way to put it. But I kind of had an epiphany recently. And I've realized that I can either sit here in my sorrow and stay in it for the next 40 years until retirement, or I can do something about it and try something new that I've never tried before, that I've always wanted to do. And that something would reinvigorate my passion for creativity and creating something meaningful. And that thing is this YouTube channel. Now, I've always wanted to be a YouTuber for as long as I can remember, and about as long as I knew about YouTube, and I started watching Minecraft Let's Plays when I was younger, in the early 2010s. Being a Gen Z boy, I'm sure many of my fellow Gen Zers can relate to the Minecraft craze of 2011 to 2015 or whatever it was. I mean, that was all we were consuming for sure. You had the Let's Plays, you had the Hunger Games, you had the Survival Islands, all the cool stuff, man. It was awesome. And then that transitioned into other passions too. It was kind of a gateway drug for us into YouTube. And then we all kind of explored our own passions differently. Mine, was a lot of gaming content creators. And eventually I was like getting into a lot of like the Vsauce style informal or informational videos and content that would teach me things, because I always like learning, and I even though I hated school, I liked learning about things that I thought were interesting. And then I realized that, oh my gosh, these people were making careers out of this. I mean, they're, for lack of a better word, like celebrities. These guys, like, this is awesome. I was like, I want to do that. And I never really had the courage or confidence to take that leap and take that dive. Let alone the know-how of kind of starting a YouTube channel. I always thought it was really hard, so I never really did it. But it was always something that was in the back of my mind of yeah, that would be cool to do. But never did it until now. And going back to what I was saying, I want to make a YouTube channel that I'm passionate about and that I can create things that I can share with the world, because that's always what I fell in love with these other creators when I was younger, and even now. I'm like, these guys are sharing something that they're passionate about, and their fan bases are passionate about. And you're making something meaningful, and that's really what I want to do it for. So all I really have to say about that is welcome to Bag. This is the channel, and you may be asking yourself, what. Quit the rambling. Get on with the point. What are we gonna do? What are we gonna be talking about? What is this channel gonna be about? Yeah, let's get right into that. So, what is Bag? Well, Bag is a collection of various different informational types of content. Anything ranging from videos about primates and monkeys to videos about marketing topics that I find interesting in my day-to-day life that I want to share with all of you, along with various other topics. But I will assure you that you will learn something, and hopefully it will pique your interest like it does mine. And if that sounds cool, go ahead. This is going to be very cliche, and I really kind of cringe saying this, but hit that subscribe button down there, because there's going to be a lot in store. We got a lot planned already. I feel like I have almost a couple months worth of content planned out here. By the time you're seeing this, the next video will probably soon be out. So, if that sounds cool to you guys and sounds like something you would enjoy, welcome to Bag.